Welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. We're your hosts, Count James
and Countess Stephanie.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about good music and a great vocal. We'll use a vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you our opinion on each contestant and our feedback on their voice and their overall performance. Here on the Pitchy Podcast. We'll keep it 100 with our feedback and critique on each contestant, but what we're not here to do is come for anyone's character or any contestant as a human being. While we may come off a little pitchy at times, if you know what I mean, we'll do our best to speak our truths in love, kindness, and respect. And with that, let's get started with night 5 on Halloween, October 31st. Hey, Steph, how you doing?
I'm well, a little tired.
The kids get out in this frigid, cold evening?
Yes, they got out. It was actually not too bad. We did not need gloves. Their hands were a little chilly by the end. Our neighborhood does a wonderful job giving the kids the candy and getting in the Halloween spirit, so they had a great time.
Good. Yeah, we had a house full of people. The teenagers were here.
Look,
my goddaughter and her family were here.
I still got my glue stick bracelets on.
I love it. And we had the fire pit out in the driveway giving out full. But we were the house that gave the full candy bars out, okay?
No, y'all give them full?
Yeah, we wanted to be known because it was our first Halloween in the house, right? So we wanted to be known.
Listen, but you know that you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to keep that up every year now, though.
I know. Lord have mercy. I know.
Because now,
but you know the Tollers love the kids.
I know. I hope the Tollers can continue to pay for the kids and their full-size candy bars for the duration of your stay at your house.
Let me tell you. But anyway, we had a quick 1-hour show tonight, but it was by no means boring. It was such a good show. It just went by so fast for me.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to start talking about it. So many great performances tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and jump right on in.
Okay.
Because it's a double record show day, you all. Y'all don't know this, but we're recording twice today. Mm-hmm. So we got to get it in.
Yes, we do.
And Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to make an announcement at the end of?
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
I haven't even hinted at anything.
During our closing, we will make an announcement.
Just a little ditty.
Just a little bit of information for the pitches.
For you all next week.
Yeah.
All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so who do we have first?
All right. So first up, we had from Team Reba, we had Dylan Carter, and we had Tom Nitti. This was actually our leak. They released it a little bit earlier this morning. Ooh. They released it a little bit earlier this afternoon. They did the song Till You Can't by Cody Johnson.
Okay. I'll address that face a little bit later.
Yes, James had a face. Yes, he did.
Let's talk about the performance.
Yes.
Okay. It was interesting because Tom, when he auditioned, he came with I'm going to kind of create a new genre. I'm going to give you soul country, which I was like, cool. Like he did kind of a country version of Stevie Wonder, Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, this dude can really, really, really sing. But he was only a 1-chair turn, which I found quite interesting. Mm-hmm. And then Dylan is our 4-chair, came with the Whitney Houston, I Look to You, Richard Marx sounding bananas. And I was like, you know what? Is it a fluke with Dylan? And one thing I realized tonight, it wasn't a fluke with either of them.
No.
He shouldn't have been a 1-chair turn. And Dylan's just as spectacular as when we first heard him.
That's right.
So I'm going to say that starting off. So I'm going to go right in. You heard them talk about in the Be Real that Tom had kind of this growl to his voice, I think is what Dylan described. Dylan's like, yeah, I don't really do that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I was like, I don't remember Tom having that in his voice. But I was like, okay, but I'm here for it.
Right.
So when Tom came in like he did, I was like, yo, if this guy has a growl to his voice, but he's coming in so tender,
Right.
so delicate.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, okay. I was like, I took notice because I was like, if they're talking about this guy having a growl,
Mm-hmm.
and he came in just so tender and delicate with this song that I do not know. I was like, okay, he's going to give us all types of levels, all
Yeah.
types of just dynamics, and y'all know I'm here for that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I wrote this. I said, come on, members only, Dylan. I said, Dylan, you better rock the members only jacket, sir. I said, I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. It was great. Great look. Because
Yes,
Dylan's
it
like,
was.
Dylan's like that guy, right? He's just that
Yes.
guy with this extraordinary talent.
Mm-hmm.
I said, the thing that is Dylan's secret weapon, Dylan has this, and the word, I was like, I need to think of a word that describes Dylan's voice. And I thought of the perfect word. Dylan has a soaring quality to his voice.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I was like, it's like a secret weapon.
Yes.
That Dylan's regular voice is already special, but he has this gear. And I was like, it's like what he did on I Look to You.
It's like an eagle. It's like an eagle gear. Like
Yes.
it's like that eagle soaring. Yes.
Yes. It's a soaring quality to his voice that I just love.
Right.
And then I immediately wrote, I said, fight, Tom. I said, you better sing for your supper, sir. I said, that boy was like, he was singing. He's like, singing for his supper. I said, that was a fireball that exploded. It wasn't just a fireball. He was. I said, Tom is like, yo, I got to eat and I got to feed my kids. And it sounded to me, and Tom, I could be wrong, but it sounded to me by your Be Real that you're a single dad. And I could be wrong. I don't want to get that wrong, but like, dude, you're a state trooper. Like, what don't you like, Renaissance man, dude? Like, what don't you do, sir? And I was like, I said, that was like a fireball that exploded in the best way. I said, there was something else about Dylan's voice. Like, I'm just going back to Dylan because it's just this. I said, not only does his voice soar, and I was like, okay, I got to think of more words to describe Dylan's voice because it's just that special. I said, Dylan has this sweetness and a cry to his voice. I said, it's almost like you weep to his voice, a weeping.
Yes.
And all of the most break your heart in the best way type of voices. I said, it just, like, you hear him sing. And I know Dylan has really taken, the tragedy that's happened in his life with him losing his mom abruptly and early. And it's sounding to me, him having some unreconciled things
Yeah.
that he had
Some
that he
regret.
didn't get to, work out with his mom. I said, it's like he's all harvested in his voice. I said his voice is one of the most mesmerizing voices I've heard on this show, period. Like, of all seasons. I said, it's just mesmerizing. I said, so weep. I said, it's interesting because Tom, I felt like with his guitar, you know how much of a showman like Garth Brooks is? Like Garth, like he would, when Garth in the 90s was at his height, he would just like pack the biggest arenas like Taylor and Beyonce are packing today. And he would have his guitar and it would just be like this bigger than life, bombastic performance. And I felt like that's what Tom was giving us. And I said, with a Chris Stapleton roar, I was like, Tom.
Yeah.
I was like, the roar just kept going like next level. Like it just kept, and it, to me, it never got, I never thought it was too much. I loved it. I loved it. I always thought he had it under control.
Yeah.
But it just kept just growing. And I was like, dude, you are singing for your supper. I said, this is crazy.
Right.
I said, I didn't expect all this. I said, and then the last thing I wrote, Stephanie, I said, they both won as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Their voices couldn't have been more different. And I
Right.
love that. We're really seeing that this season. We're seeing a lot of different voices coming together and making some beautiful music.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love this entire performance. I love the soaring. I love the roaring. I love the the weeping. I loved it all. I
Yeah.
loved it all. It was just awesome, awesome, awesome. But you're gonna see this face after Stephanie's done.
Yeah. So when the clip was released this afternoon, I happened to catch it maybe 15 minutes after it was released, and I just saw the Instagram portion of it. So it wasn't the full video, but it was
Right.
just enough to kind of show a good context of what happened. And I wrote something to the effect of, who told these men that they were actually battling for their lives?
That was
Because sheesh, they were singing the song
yeah.
down. Dylan, everything you said, James, I agree with. The word soaring is the exact word that I thought about when talking about his voice, and when he is able, when the song enables him to just allow that voice to soar. Nobody does it better
Yeah.
on this show than Dylan does. He's got in the verses, there was this breathy, breaky thing
Mm.
that was happening that was so
Weeping.
weeping. It was so beautiful,
Yeah.
and it was so vulnerable. And it
Yeah.
was the exact perfect touch for this song. But also with Tom entered into the song with this really bright tenor country voice.
Yeah.
At the beginning of his vocal, though, I felt like he was a bit nervous. I felt like I did hear a little bit of pitchiness at the very beginning.
That worked for him. For me, it worked for him. But I see what you're talking about. I can see
Yeah.
why you would think that. Yeah.
After that, like, it just felt like he really settled in. And right before the second time that they sang the chorus, there was complete snappage. There was just complete
Yeah.
snappage and holleration. And it was so awesome to see, because that's when it really felt like a battle, and not in a bad way, but they both kind of kept one up in each other in their own way, kind of increasing
In
the
their own lane,
intense
right?
in their own lane. They kept
Sure.
increasing the intensity and the what felt like the emotion of the song. It almost felt like a pot of boiling water about to boil over, but never boiling over, just kind of getting to that peak. And it was just so powerful. And, you know, us knowing a little bit about what Dylan's been through, the fact that he could sing the line about his calling his mother,
Yeah.
and be able to get through that without without completely breaking was outstanding. And yeah, I just really, really appreciated Tom's fight, especially at the end of this battle. Like, he was literally, it felt like singing for his life, and it was outstanding. And also, their harmonies together were
Oh,
so
gorgeous.
fantastic. And like you said,
Luscious.
James,
Luscious.
we've seen this a couple times, especially within the past couple days, where you have two very different voices coming together, and they're able to create a beautiful harmony together. So kudos to those different groupings that have done that successfully, because that really means that you're listening to each other to be able to make a successful, unified sound together. So this was a fantastic battle. And for those of you listening, James has the most, it almost looks like a sleepy face, but he is just really upset. He's kind of pouting, and I am upset as well. So Reba, came time for her to make this decision, and it was not an easy decision for Reba. I can tell that James is doing the face. I can tell that she really struggled with this decision, and she had to make a decision. And to be fair, they both sang this song down in their own way. So it
Like
was a
I
tough
said, Tom
it
was rewarded
it was
for He's singing for his supper.
Yes, and he ate. So Tom
He ate well.
Tom ate well. Reba picked Tom to move forward in the competition. And unfortunately, Dylan was sent home.
Sent home.
No steal for Dylan.
That was just crazy. That was just crazy. And again, Tom gave his performance was electric. Like
Yes.
Tom willed you to pick him. He really
Yes,
did
he
with
did.
this
No, he
performance.
did. Yes.
I just think that Dylan is so special. Like I would have been fine with either of them getting picked. It didn't matter, but they both should have moved on, in my
Right.
opinion. And I'm
Absolutely.
pretty sure in Stephanie's opinion too. I think they both should have moved on. It was that good of a performance.
Yeah.
The fact that Dylan got sent home, like y'all don't have any other voice like this on this show, and
Right.
it's such a special, unique quality. I don't know many male voices that can make their voices soar, like a Steve Perry, like a Omar from the previous season. Like there's just a
Right.
soaring quality to his voice that to me I just wanted to hear more and more of, like multiple rounds of. Like it was
Absolutely.
just like, and then the heartbreak in his voice, I love the emotion of it all. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very upset. That's why I had the pouty, angry, sad, whatever face. Um, but it's show business, and we got to just accept it.
Yeah.
So Dylan, sir, if you listen, we love you.
Yes, we do.
Just keep singing, dude.
Please keep
Please,
singing.
please. You are so, so, so talented. It's just great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Stephanie, I'm going to let out a big sigh with this one, but who do we have next? This is one of our short ones, right?
Yeah, next was a quick clip. I was not expecting one this soon in the show, but it was from Team Nile. It was Olivia Minogue versus Laura Williams, and they sang Ghost by Ella Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't, again, with these quick clips, we only got to see a very short bit of each of them singing. From what it looked like they were both singing the song down, and they
Yeah.
were both giving as far as performance went. But however, Coach Nile chose for Olivia to move on in the competition. So we look forward to hearing more from her.
I did write something.
Okay.
I said, Olivia's stunning. Beautiful, and she can sing, and she
Yeah.
can sing. So it's like she has movie star looks to me, and incredible. I liked what I heard from that
Yeah.
little part that I did hear.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what she's going to do in those knockouts, because she is the camera loves her. She's a beautiful, beautiful young lady. Yeah. So can't wait to hear more of you, Olivia.
Yeah. And again, The Voice, YouTube is a great forum to please show the full performances, even if you don't have time to show them on the actual show. Like, put them on YouTube so we can see.
Please. I want to see it all.
So do I.
All right. So, moving on,
Mhm.
who was next?
Next up was from Team Gwen. We had Eli Ward.
Oh,
And we had Jason Arcilla. And they did the song Make It With You by Bread. James loves this song. Gwen Stefani loves her some Bread, because the last time that she coached, they must have sang like two, three Bread songs during her season. So
yeah. And it's crazy because the last time she coached, Jaden, who did the famous "Love You Love Me" with Bodie, that did the Bieber with Bodie, and Jaden was the one that season that Stephanie and I kind of never got over. That they said,
I'm still not over that.
it was like the Alley Keck, it was like the Jaden, it was like those folks. Like it's the now Dylan, like the ones that get sent home, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. And I said, Gwen lost her mind when Jaden auditioned with that, because Gwen wasn't expecting it, and she's
That's
like
right.
me, she loves bread. I said, Jason, dude, I can listen to you forever. Like I can listen to your tone, just the delicateness, the sweetness, just the effortless ease of your technique is
Mm-hmm.
everything. I said, ooh. I said, this is easy listening fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, this is elevated singing. I said, did I tell y'all that I love this song? I love this song. I said, one thing I loved about Eli, you know what? I'll just say, Eli is a very good looking dude.
Yes,
He's
he
a
is.
because it was crazy. Because I was
For
looking at
real.
like the older pictures of Eli, you could tell he was an ugly duckling. Like he blossomed into a good looking dude. Because if you saw the picture of he and his girlfriend from back in the day,
Yes.
they looked like two kind of
Yes.
nerdy people.
Listen, he
And then
flipped real quick.
I was like, yo's got
Yeah.
guns and came
I
out
was
there with the cardigan with no like
No, but
nonsense.
you know what? But even like from the blind audition, because in the blind audition he had like glasses on and he looked very different. For this
Yeah.
performance, like you said,
This is
he had
this
the
is the
gun
one,
show
right?
going on. Yeah, he had the gun show
Yeah.
going on and the hair was done
I was
and
like, you look,
yeah.
I said, boy band, okay. He is very good looking dude. I think we were all nervous for him because
Yes.
he did like his voice, like he opened so strongly in his audition and then truly got spooked. But using a Halloween word, truly got spooked and like kind of crashed and burned. But people had already turned from him because he really did have a good voice.
Yes.
So everyone's kind of looking for him to redeem himself. And boy, did he ever redeem himself. Like, I was like, dude, who is this dude? I said,
Right.
you're giving me confidence. You're giving me just dancing. You're giving me like a two-step.
Yeah.
I said he was an incredible compliment to Jason. I feel like
Mhm.
Jason led the song mostly, but I
Yeah.
also felt like Eli, when he came in, it was like almost like Eli finished Jason's sentence, right?
Right. Right.
Like it was just like it's like Jason, it was like a seamless pickup. Eli picked
Absolutely.
up and kind of like just went right on. I said Eli has this very beautiful, I said an effortless tone. How he went through like some of the harmonies Eli was singing top
Oh
on.
yes.
And Jason already has a heavenly top.
Yes.
I mean, a gorgeous, like where people thought he was a woman singing, like it was
Right.
so pretty.
Right.
But Eli like was singing like up there, and it was just some gorgeous. I thought it was just gorgeous singing, and with a song like this and Bread, I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I loved the entire performance.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie,
So I felt like Jason has this, and I don't feel like it, he has just this wonderful tenor, beautiful, easy listening, like you said, voice, and his vibrato is so beautiful. Like
gorgeous.
everything about his voice is just absolute. Like it's like if his voice like represents where he lives. It's like it felt easy, like being on the beach in Hawaii. Like that felt like I was right there.
Tenuous,
It's
right?
yes, it was like it was so crazy to kind of hear Hawaii in his voice. Like I felt like I
Yeah,
was
well,
right
that's a
there,
great,
you know?
great analogy, and
Yeah.
it's true. Like your
It's
eyes closed, like you see the waves crashing. You
yes.
see like
I
the
smelled the
beautiful.
sunscreen in my pina colada. Like I'm
Yes,
there.
yes.
You know what? I'm there.
Um,
It's so beautiful. And it was like, especially after today has been a long day, y'all. So to have a nice, easy breezy song to listen to, even though we're writing notes and all, it was beautiful. But then you have Eli, who again, like I was a little shook. I was a little scared. And James, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but clarify this for me. Did we ever hear him sing during the actual rehearsal?
Not really. No,
Right? I was like, what
not
are they
really.
hiding? Like, I was like, what, why are we not hearing much of him? Because we definitely heard Jason singing during the rehearsal with Gwen. So when he comes out with all this tone in his throat, I'm like, who you? Who are
You're
you?
not the dude who auditioned.
You're not the dude that auditioned. He had some lows.
Yeah,
Did you hear his lows? I
very
was like,
good.
you better come through. The difference between him and Jason is that Eli had this charisma and this confidence that I was just like, where was this? Where did this come from? And I think that this is who he really is. And I think that the blind audition was just another animal. Like it was just such a singular, isolated experience where, he just got spooked. And that what we saw tonight is who he really is when he performs. And it was just really charming to watch him and Jason, but I felt like he was really into like the choreography of it all and the movement and just really bringing the song more to life.
Sure.
And it was a great contrast to what Jason was doing, which was also awesome. um and again, when they sang together, it was beautiful. I felt like Jason was like the Stevie Nicks,
Mm-hmm.
and when Eli came in, Eli was like Elvis. Eli was like Elvis with like the tone and the
Right.
charisma and all
Right.
of that. So it was a really, really good performance. I really, really enjoyed it.
Jason was given so much of that Hawaii laid back energy. I felt
Yeah.
like Eli was not only feeding off of Jason's energy, I felt he was like harvesting it in to help him
Mm.
through his anxieties. Because Jason
Mm.
seems so, excuse me, Eli seems so chill. Like
Yeah.
he seemed so comfortable with what he was bringing, but it
Hmm.
felt like it was a journey for him to get there.
Yeah.
But it was like almost like Jason was like his safety blanket, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's like, as long as Jason's cool and not freaking out, I'm gonna be cool and not freak out.
Right.
And I felt like I felt like he really used him, I guess, in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Where, like, and I heard them exchange like "I love yous"
Yes.
with each other, and I can see that they really connected. You see, there was this really strong connection between the two of them, and I felt like Eli used that to really build into his performance.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
who won this battle?
So Jason won this battle.
He did. Eli was another one who I thought maybe somebody was going to save because
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
special voice,
Yeah.
and you could see that he was a performer. But Gwen and company, like they kept referring back to, I gotta go with who I know is like a shoe in, right? Who I
I
know
know.
is going to be consistent. So I think to your point, I think Eli may have won that battle if we're talking like voice to voice or performance to performance.
Yeah.
But they went on body of work,
Yeah.
which sometimes consistency does mean a lot in this
Yes.
business. People got to be able to depend on you, like to deliver, right? You
That's
got to be
right.
able to deliver
Yeah.
consistently.
Yeah.
So I felt bad for Eli. I felt like he should have been given another chance to say, "Hey, you know what? This ain't no fluke. This is who I really am. I'm really just
Yeah.
comfortable in my own skin
Hmm.
and comfortable with this whole show business thing." So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I think John said he was close to stealing him,
yeah,
but
he
then
did.
decided not
I
to.
could see John stealing a voice like that
Oh
because
yeah.
Eli's voice was so cool. Um,
Absolutely.
okay, so who was our final performance of the evening?
Last up from Team Legend was Mara Justine and Claudia B.
Claudia
They
B.
they sang Dusty Springfield's "Son of a Preacher Man."
Love this song. Love this song.
Yes.
Love it. And it's one of those songs I was telling Stephanie earlier. It's one of those songs that
Yeah.
it's the original is so iconic and
Yes.
it was like lightning in a bottle when Dusty
Yes.
recorded this and sang this, that it could never be duplicated.
That's
And
right.
if you sing it, this is a song to me you need to stick to. For me, you need to stick to kind of what Dusty was bringing in that whole vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I said, I said, I said, girl, you better sing. I said, they were singing. Both of them were singing it down in rehearsal. And that's just a rehearsal. Like, and
Rehearsal.
usually rehearsal don't sound too good, but
Right.
these girls like were bringing it in rehearsal. I said,
Yes.
we got a knife fight. We
We
got a
in
knife
for it.
fight. I said, when Claudia B came in, Immediately. She said, Billy Ray was and my head went to Sarah said it cool. She don't consider it cheating. I said,
Miss Joss.
I said, you giving me Joss
Just.
Stone
Oh.
vibes from the beginning. I said, I said, Claudia B, you better sing. I said, you're giving me the exact.
Oh, that's it, James. That is it.
Vibe that this song needs. I said, that the story. Oh, that's my song. With a heart. Hey!
I fell in love once and almost complete thing.
Nothing of anything to do. My best friend then on love is fleeting. Okay, that was my jam, y'all, back in the day. Come on, Joss Stone. Shout out to Joss.
Joss Stone.
And I told Claudia B, I said, you're giving me Joss Stone vibes on this song, and that's exactly what Son of a Preacher Man needs. I said, like, kind of what was done yesterday with the Evanescence, what Rudy did with the Evanescence. I said, you got to stay right with this song. I'm a purist when it comes to a song like Son of a Preacher Man. Mara is a sprinter who you just got to let her open up her sea legs, and she gone. She has smoked you. Because let me tell you, you let Mara out that gate, you got Sha'Carri Richardson.
That's right. That's right.
What type of singer Mara is? It's scary, y'all.
Yeah.
It's scary. You let her open her voice up, it's over.
Right.
Murder, Death, Kill, 187, y'all. It's done. It's done. Yeah. I said, Mara got that, I said, she's got that whole laid back fire vibe.
Yeah.
Like, it's not laid back. She's singing a laid back song, but she's bringing fire to it. Which actually did not offend me. Because because even though I preferred what Claudia B was doing artistically with this song, I thought Mara was doing what most people do to the song, but what she was doing was still in very good taste. Right. It's just not my preference. I said, come on, choice. Yeah. I said, Claudia was just doing all these perfect little nuances to it. About the kind of the things that she brought to human nature. I just loved it. And then what I called it at the end, I said, okay, Mara, I said, you better give me the whistle hair flip. She's like, I said, you're giving me a whistle, and she flips her hair like, yeah, I did. I did the doggone thing.
Yes.
And one thing I loved about this performance, because it is such a laid back, chill song, I always felt the energy was at 100.
Right.
Meaning, even though Claudia B especially was giving me that whole laid back vibe, I felt her energy was still super high.
Oh, yes.
And that's another thing that's very difficult about this song, because I've heard this song sung kind of too lazily, if that's a word.
Yeah.
Just very lazily. And and people will fall behind the beat and because this is a very difficult song to sing and emulate. And I love the energy that they both, even though Mara gave us more of a performance with the growls and the hair flips and the whistle, Claudia B was she was stone cold with this song. I loved it. Yeah. Loved it. Stephanie?
Yeah, I felt like Claudia got to the core of what the song is about. Like, she talking about the man she loves. You know what I mean? And for some people, like Mara, they're more like energetic and all over the place about it and like very performative. And some people are more reserved, but very, very much like, let me tell you about my man.
Right.
And I'm gonna do it with a glass of wine in my hand. That's the vibe that Claudia was giving.
Claudia was giving us some art imitating life, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And the Son of a Preacher Man.
Come on. She's singing about real life.
Yeah.
And it shined through. She did some really, like you were saying, some really cool melodic choices. Her voice, like just the clarity of her voice is so incredible, but it still has that R&B edge to it, which is incredible. Mara's got this gritty, powerful instrument, and she has different gears, but the her default is strength and grit, and it works for her. It's so weird because it works for her in every song that she's done so far. Like like her voice works for what she's singing. She makes it authentic, which is a really cool attribute to be able to have. And like her stage presence is just off the chain. So
Yeah.
I called Claudia. Claudia is like clean soul, like very, very soulful, but very clean. Mara is dirty soul. She got that soul in her throat and it's dirty. So in my mind, it's like CeCe Wining's going up again against Leandria Johnson. Like
Yeah.
they're
I
both going to,
love it. I love it.
like they're both going to sing it down, but like Leandria might throw a shoe at you, and CeCe is just going to stand there and be proper about it. And but they're both going to deliver like this incredibly ridiculous vocal. And they both delivered. Mara and Claudia both delivered an incredibly ridiculous vocal to a song that not a lot of people should do, especially on a singing competition. Because as James explained, it's a very specific song, and you can come off very karaoke or very gimmicky singing
Yeah.
this song, and neither one of them did. And they both sang it in their own individual ways. So, way to go, ladies. Way to go.
And Stephanie is kind of alluding to a way to go, ladies, because
John ended up picking Mara as the winner. They both, or a lot of the coaches said that there was just this intangible and undeniable star quality that Mara had that John agreed with, and so he chose her to move forward in the competition. And then bop. Niall had a steal left, and he decided that Claudia's time on The Voice was not coming to an end just yet. He said, no. We need to hear
you
more
ain't going
of you.
nowhere, girl.
That's right.
I'm glad, because Claudia better not be going nowhere with that singing like that.
Oh, I know. She
Better
deserved
not be
it.
going nowhere.
She deserved it.
She
Absolutely.
did. Oh, I can't wait to hear. She's one of my dark horse favorites. Low key, because of what she did with Human Nature, and then what she did tonight. I said,
Yeah.
Claudia, I'm loving everything you're giving. You are giving, as they say.
Yeah, she is giving. Yes.
As they say.
As they say.
Anyway, it is late, y'all. It's been a wonderful night, but we got to go. So we will, well, maybe not we. We have a special announcement.
So, Pitchies, here's what's going on. So, next week, James will be in an undisclosed area with a cocktail or two, having a wonderful time away on vacation. So I will be carrying on with the podcast, and I will have a friend or two joining me on our episodes, and we will cover nights 6 and 7, our last nights of the blinds. So we will give you more information on who may be joining me next week. Also, as a note about that, because of our different hosts that will be joining me because of scheduling and things, the podcast might be delayed on the regular days that it will come out. It will most likely still come out on Wednesdays and Thursdays. However, it might come out later on in the day rather than first thing in the morning. So thank you for your grace about that. And we are really, really excited for next week's episodes, and really excited that James gets to have some time away.
Yes. So why not put in the comments or the chat who you think our special hosts might be?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Stephanie, I'm going to miss you terribly, but I will be back refreshed, renewed, and sun-kissed
Come on.
the week after next.
Yes,
So have an awesome, awesome time.
I will.
And Pitchies, I will see you soon. And Stephanie, I'll talk to you,
We'll talk.
So, Stephanie, tell them what they need to hear.
All right, so don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. And also check us out on YouTube. Search for the Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. And last, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and any updates about when our show will be released, if it's being released at a different time, and so much more.
All right. Well, happy November. It's the most wonderful time. Not quite.
Listen,
we don't go there.
I saw somebody saying tomorrow is when they want to starting to hear Mariah Carey.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
All I want for Christmas
is Thanksgiving. Okay? All right. So we better see. Let's get to Thanksgiving first, you all.
Can we?
All right. So, everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. And Pitchy Podcast, we'll see you soon. And I will see you all the week after next.
All right. Bye-bye.